Charlotte Van Horn, CEO and founder of Black Expats in Panama.
Good morning. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Gotta be fresh around.
I don't turn off. I don't. I work at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it won't be like that always, but right now it's what it requires. It is the life of an entrepreneur. You know, an entrepreneur that's building something unique and grand just does not have the luxury of saying these are the days that I work. We work every freaking day. But, you know, I'm good with it. I'm good. I had built the group like 200 people in a year. And I would just come to Panama in like twice a year. And I would say, this is what's happening in Panama. And I'd show them little stuff. I didn't know nothing about Panama myself. I was like, this is the mall, y'all, that kind of thing. How I order coffee in Panama. Café con leche y azúcar. Por favor. Gracias. My connection to Panama is love. Okay, it's love, baby. It's love. The reason that Panama was ever on my radar is because I met a man 32 years ago. You know, he was from Panama, and I was like, he talked really weird, and I had no idea where Panama was, what Panama was, none of that. But 32 years later, here I am.
And you gotta wake up early so you're ready for me at 8 o'clock. Okay, y'all gotta get up extra early so you're ready for my loud mouth at 8 o'clock. Carlos in the back like, this girl. So listen, we got an amazing day on tap. It's going to be a relocation day. You know, we're gonna be seeing some city, some suburbs. Tio will be teaching us a lot of things along the way. Our first stop is a cultural stop, and then we'll also have a cultural lunch. So I hope y'all didn't have too much breakfast.
We had decided I wanted to retire. The question was, where do we want to retire to?
At first, we didn't really think about living abroad. Panama kept coming up. You know, the weather, the fact that they use the American dollar. So we took a tour, and that's when we came through Black Expats in Panama tour, and it was amazing. So we said, okay, that's it. I think we're set. Sold the house, sold the cars. We packed, 7 suitcases, and we're here.
Yep, we gave it a shot, and we found out it worked for us.
We booked the tour because I had never been here before. But I said, maybe I should go and feel it, you know. We did the tour with Charlotte, and I was in the front looking around and feeling the place. And after the tour, I said, I had already decided, this will work for me.
Someone said, check out Panama. And I did. And it was easy, meaning there were green lights along the path. 2 years of research. And here I am. I came here twice. The second time, I signed a lease. Panama is my dream.
I love my country. I don't think my country ever loved me back. Cause see, I was a child when all the civil rights acts were passed, And I was alive when Lyndon Baines Johnson said, if you tell the poorest white man he's better than the poorest black man, just like they did in 2024.
I started Black Expats in Panama as a Facebook group. But when we watched George Floyd being murdered in front of us, it just changed.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please, Miss Officer.
Both hands.
Do nothing.
Jesus Christ. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel.
What do we do?
Put your hand up there.
God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way Miss Officer before.
People, you traveling black today. You're traveling with a black company that try to help black people. We go into black restaurants, at least the ones that dominated by blacks. In a humble way, we try to help our people wherever we go. Black Expats in Panama try to put a little seed in people and try to educate people that we are the generation that will make things change. We have too many people sacrificing for us already, right? The time of sacrificing physically is over. Now it's time for we to push back. And if we have to haul or bring or drag over people, we have to do it, but we can't be passive.
I was getting all these requests to join the group. And people were saying, what's in Panama? Or black people in Panama? What is police brutality like in Panama? What do you have to do to be a resident in Panama? So because people started asking all these questions, I just decided that I needed to find the answers. And that's how Black Expats in Panama, as we know it today, got its start.
Into those places.
You feel better?
Hey, what do you think about this?
Oh, I'm
overall
loving
tour?
it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, I was comparing the film that they showed because you didn't see a lot of us in it. And how do we build a community from that, because we want to be in a community. But they had some great points. My husband said somebody got to be point man. And my sister said the more that we come in, the more it will be a community.
Remember, this is just starting.
Right. Right.
So this is the time to get in it when it's not fully established. I see the potential. You know what I'm saying? But I like my life easy. I'm on the bougie side. I have to have certain amenities. I have to look out for my babies.
I can't live in a world where I'm constantly worried. My own child experienced being called a derogatory slur in 5th grade by someone he thought it was his friend.
I had heard the word before. My entire family never really held back on, the profanities. So I knew the word, but I'd never been called it before. That kid was my friend. He was my first friend that I made in 5th grade. And so to hear that out of him, my eyes opened to how bad this really is.
You mentioned freedom earlier, so I want to ask, what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom, for me, being authentically me.
Playing music, watching hoops.
No limitations, no boundaries, just being yourself, I think.
To be the best you can be without worrying about things that you cannot control, like your gender, your skin color, or who you love, how you think, all this other stuff.
Playing bid whist, I love playing bid whist cards.
Freedom for me is being able to breathe.
I've been promised peace, joy, happiness, abundance, and I'm standing for that. So that's how I get my freedom.
And fishing and chilling.
I definitely feel the freedom of choosing my home. I think as a black person who is descendant of enslaved people whose home was told, they were told who they were and where they lived, there was some power in saying, no, this is who I am and where I live.
I'm free to do that here.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all a photo. And I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Just share what it makes you feel like, what it makes you think about, what emotions come to you, and don't hold back.
Okay.
All right.
Amiga, that's Charlotte Van Horn. Me amiga.
Oh, that's my girl. That is my girl.
Oh, I'ma cry.
Charlotte Van Horn, the Black Moses. That was the name given to Harriet Tubman at that time after having led thousands of slaves to freedom. And if anyone dared to even think about turning back, she cocked that gun.
If Charlotte is the modern day Harriet Tubman, I'm one that she would not have to shoot. Because I'm going.
We are going back and getting the things that our ancestors left behind and didn't even have a choice to take with them. And I just want to celebrate each and every one of us for being our ancestors' wildest dreams. Cheers. Cheers. Salud. I think it is accessible for the people that are courageous enough to get outside of their box and go for it. People come on our tour, and I just remember how scared they were in the beginning. Now they come and buy houses before they leave, okay? And that 4 years that we've been doing it, it's a big difference. But when my grandkids go on a relocation tour, they're gonna be ready, they're not gonna be scared because I made a path for them. Being able to do something like this and make a significant impact in other people's lives, and for me to know that my children and my grandchildren will have a legacy that I get to leave with them.
Enslaved Africans in Panama were forced to follow Catholic customs, but secretly kept their own traditions. The dance with the devil was a form of their resistance, while appearing to be obedient. The devil in the dance symbolized the slave master or colonial ruler, cruel, powerful, and feared. By mocking the devil and showing his defeat, the dancers turned fear into strength, a hidden way of pushing back and keeping their spirit alive.